Bedbugs, an infestation in France. Welcome to Marc and Pete. Here's a thought.
Buddy, the bedbug, feels warm and snug whenever the public slowly slumbers, but he can suck and slug in sheets you hug as he breeds in great numbers.
Oh, yeah. Great numbers, yeah.
This is a subject that'll make your skin crawl. Yes, the French. No, but more specifically, French bedbugs.
Yes.
Well, it appears that there has been an outbreak throughout the French capital of bedbugs. How could this possibly be? Who knows? But these blood-sucking insects have been spotted in Parisian cinemas, hospitals, in private homes, with French authorities warning that the issue must be tackled before Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Well, Clergyman Pete, I ask you, what do you think about this outbreak? And here's another angle. What do you think about how God sees bedbugs?
Well, you see, let's start with that. I mean, bedbugs, obviously created by the same creators created us all. So we tend to hate them just because they're in our beds. But, I mean, that's because we've been shedding skin in the beds. And they're feasting on it. So, you know, if we didn't do that, they wouldn't be there. So I don't think that they're to blame. And they're part of the ecology. However, they could feast on the skin, detritus from humans, somewhere else. You know, not in such great concentrations, but somewhere else, rather than in places where they can bite you. So it's probably just as well that they're not able to not only chomble on the bits of skin, but bite into you and get your blood to feast on by shifting them somewhere else. Now, bedbugs, then, are what I make of this is it being in France makes it amusing. Now, for our overseas listeners, they may not be aware of the stereotype of someone who's French, fondly believed in England, as someone who treats hygiene in a different way. Not that they're unhygienic particularly. I mean, if you're being unkind, you would say that. But that isn't it. It's things like toilets, for example. English people have a lot of experience of going to French campsites and the like, and the toilets absolutely stink. The French view of this is, well, they're toilets. British think, no, I don't like the smell. So it's a different cultural take on it, and therefore this plays into it. Oh, the French, well, they'll just let them bite them. They put up with things like that. They don't think of actually doing anything about it. And it is striking that it doesn't seem to be regarded as a great catastrophe that the place is overrun with bedbugs. I think in Britain this would be a major story, and there'd be something done about it.
Well, Clergyman Pete, I must admit that when you think of it from a business perspective, this is one export that we could do without.
Yes.
Now, interestingly, a Eurostar spokesperson said the safety and well-being of our customers is always number one priority, and the presence of insects such as bedbugs on our trains are extremely rare. Yeah. Now, what's happening is essentially they're getting everywhere. They're spreading. Yeah. You know, their eggs are sort of infiltrating. They're catching on people's clothes. They get into the textiles of seats. Yeah. And even though that they're meant to be cleaned thoroughly on a regular basis, it still seems that this infestation is prolific. Yeah. Now, I suppose that one of the things, as you say, about the amusing side of this, but it will probably put people off from going to France. And of course, it's not just the British people. I would imagine the Germans are probably thinking twice about going as well, and so the Dutch and the Spanish and so on. But here's the thing. I suppose this has to be an unusual phenomenon, surely. I mean, you know, it's not as though, you know, bed bugs don't exist anywhere. They exist all over the world, and this is not unusual. But the fact that it's been so prolific, probably I would counter the point about the concern over the French. I think they are concerned, but still are sort of really struggling to contain this. Yes. Now, if they don't, it could actually impact their business. And certainly from a tourist perspective. Yes. So when it comes to public transport, what's your thoughts on how you would get to France?
How would I get to France?
Yes, well, would you go by Eurostar?
Not by Eurostar, not with all the bedbugs there. No, I'd want to drive in my own seat. It's interesting you say that in fact they are doing something about it. Yes, and what I was talking about is the view from, you know, the stereotype of the French. I mean, we believe that they're not bothered because of the way we see them, and therefore it's amusing, interesting. But in itself, it's not amusing. I mean, they can spread disease, and it's just unpleasant. It can stop your sleep. And I guess, being sexist for a moment, thinking more of women, they can leave scars on especially on your legs, so that they look unsightly.
If you're bitten regularly by them, and certainly if there's a serious infestation, it can cause serious health concerns. Absolutely.
Yeah. And they can be quite disfiguring, because you end up scratching out these bites.
That's
and
it.
Then that makes them bigger and worse, and you get scarring. And so, I mean, I see that there's some advice put out by The Guardian, a trustworthy journal published in Britain, which says that you should, if you believe that you've been in a place where you may have had bedbugs, look for the bites so you can put some cream on and treat them, because you may not have noticed them. You may not have noticed it's happening.
That's right.
Because they're not that painful. And so you may have been bitten by bedbugs and not realise it. So you have a look. It may be on your face, not just on the ankles and wrists, and neck, but they could actually be on your face, and you may see little spots of blood on the bedding from where they've been feasting on you in the night. And so, quite disgusting, isn't it? There are things that you can do. Just be vigilant if you think you've come in contact with them, and then make sure that you don't.
Yes.
Don't go
Are
back
we
there
talking
again.
about the French now, or the bed bugs?
Well,
I'm sort of lost in the conversation.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because when we're talking about an infestation of filthy little animals, what are we talking about? Obviously, bedbugs. That's what I'm saying. But what would be the closing remark here? The idea that there's a bedbug infestation in France to British people is quite amusing because of our stereotypical view of the French. I would say that in fact it's just a difficult thing to deal with once you have a bedbug infestation. I guess once they start growing, it's difficult to root them out, but they do need to sort it out, and they do need to take strong action. I know in some countries the government intervenes and starts spraying your entire house with insecticide to get rid of them. I think that's going a bit far, but certainly you should treat the bedding, get new bedding if you can, and just get rid of these things. I think with the Eurostar coming over here, I guess there's going to be an infestation of the little blighters. The bedbugs again coming over. So we want to make sure that they don't.
Take care wherever you go. But I think the fact of the matter is that every country suffers. It's just slightly unfortunate that the French seem to be exporting this problem at this moment in time.
Yes, and on that bombshell, it's au revoir from Marc et Pierre.